of the earth tomorrow. And the same thing with anybody. I mean, is the world going to stop going around if Warren Buffett or Bill Gates or, whoever else out there, Ted Turner, they fall off the face of the earth? I mean, how much is going to change? So it's the same for all of us. God doesn't play favorites. He loves us all and wants the best for us all. Why on earth would we want to degrade and marginalize another human being because they're uneducated? I don't do that because you're educated. I think it's great. I mean, I love dentists. I'll straight up, I love dentists. I mean, I've been in pain so many times in my life and said, thank God there is somebody out there that is willing to do this, because if it was up to me, I probably couldn't do it. I don't know what they used to do in, thousands of years ago. I don't know how long dentistry, it goes back a long way, I guess, but, I don't know what they do because I couldn't do it. It'd be very hard for me to give someone shots and to drill in their tooth and inflict all this pain, and it'd be tough, all the blood and everything else, and it's a pretty tough job. So, I really love dentists. I'm really glad that people went to dental school and became dentists. The same with, doctors. I think there's a lot of great doctors. I mean, any profession can be good if it's noble and not ignoble. I mean, but to me, there's a whole lot of professions that exist that are just leeches on you. They don't serve any purpose. We don't need those jobs. We don't need the debt industrial complex. You see, if you get rid of poverty and nobody's poor, there's no such thing as lending. There's no debt. There's no poverty. So it's self-evident that there's not going to be any debt. There's not going to be individual debt, and there's not going to be national debt. Okay, so you understand why it's so imperative that our illegitimate overlords, this gaggle of merciless, ruthless thugs at the top, the money printers, and their whoring cohorts, the political class, all these people are in bed together. They're all just, whoring it up. And, I blame the educational system yet less because I really think some of these people believe. They really genuinely believe. And if you really have been deceived, well, I can't hate you. I mean, I don't hate anybody. It's just, I can't blame you. I think the blame has to go more squarely on the very top of the pyramid. Understand, this is the source of all of it. It's the money printing. It's the money, the love of money, the trickery, the deceit, the sorcery that's involved. It's the fine print. It really is. It's, the devil is in the fine print. I think that's a good way to put it. And that's how we've been duped and tricked and all fallen head over heels into this system, this money-based reality that it's all fraudulent. It's all fabrication. It's all made up. And we have to fundamentally get that. We really do. And just understand how different our civilization could be if we just said, well, wait a minute, how could we have prosperity for everybody? That seems so far-fetched and foreign to the way I've been trained to think. But when you consider, first you've got this willing workforce, people willing to do jobs of all colors and stripes, okay? And that's what we need, people working in the factories, building stuff. I mean, I'm glad that, I can collect wristwatches. I love it. To me, it's an art, and, the design and the detail. I think it's beautiful, because, and I think that God made us to appreciate these things. Like the universe is made like that. Like, God created the galaxies and the solar systems, and they spin about like a fine Swiss watch. Well, I think, that's where we got all our technology today. We always need to ascribe that honor to God. He gave us the wherewithal. He gave us the brain. So every stitch of technology rightfully belongs to God. It came from God. He created us, and we created the technology. So, that's the rightful source to honor, to love God above all else, and then love one another ourselves. And we can learn to do it. We can wean ourselves off this concept of money so that we render it irrelevant. We don't need it anymore because there's plenty of stuff. First and foremost, a willing workforce, and then all the stuff. What is there a shortage of? Tell me that we can't create all the clean drinking water we need on the face of the earth with desalination units, okay, and clean energy sources like solar. We know that exists, like hydrogen. Tell me we can't, miniaturize hydrogen production units to take, all this stuff could be ecologically 100% eco-friendly. This is the world we could have. We could be off the dirty fuel. It's just in the, it's the petrol is a form of money. That's how it's being, the petrodollar we've all heard of. So any commodity that can be seen as money, like gold and silver, whatever it is, wampum, It's the concept that we've got to get over. We've got to understand if there's plenty of stuff, there's plenty of stuff. That's it. And don't buy the baloney that, there isn't plenty of stuff, because there is. Is there a shortage of automobiles? Well, the factories are laying people off, willing workers that love their jobs, you know, because they're not selling their product at the price they want. So, they're trying to price fix. This is not capitalism. This is not free market supply and demand capitalism. See, if we simply had that, if we simply had sound currency and free market supply and demand based capitalism, we would gradually have a state of prosperity across the board, okay, where this tide of prosperity would lift all ships. JFK understood this. There's been other people that have understood this theory of sound currency. Abraham Lincoln, I think Andrew Jackson. There's been quite a few that have stood up and said, you know what? This is what we need, is sound currency, because they saw that this was the egalitarian way. This is the way to freedom for all. That's all egalitarianism is. It's equality. It's saying, what do we want? Do you want just freedom for you and your family, or are you willing that other people have it? And that's what, if you're an egalitarian, that's what you want. You're willing that everybody have the same things that you want. That you don't have anything special, no upper hand. Nobody has to be born beholden to you or your children because you've amassed great wealth and you've got this dynasty, you're an aristocrat, whatever the case may be. But to understand equality, that this is the way God wants it to be. And so that this is the way it's going to be. That we all live together in safety and security and freedom and prosperity. That you can have any house you want. I mean, if people really had their choice, a lot of people might want a smaller house. There's a lot of benefits to it. They're more cozy. So, don't hold that against anybody. But, a lot of these people that have these humongous mansions and whatnot, well, they might say, well, look, this is a lot of work to keep this place clean and dusted. I mean, I don't even go in half these rooms. I mean, so things would balance out and people could live in any kind of size dwelling they want, wherever they want. Some people love these high rises in the city, and whatever people want, they can have it. They can live where they want, and they can live, then they can do what they want to serve. You don't have to stay with any one career. You choose however you want to serve, and you do it on your terms. Of course, when I say don't be beholden, I'm not talking about this idea that we can't work together, because, collaboratively, humanity has achieved a lot. I mean, we didn't build, no one man built the superhighway single-handedly. And we have to understand that there's times when we say we're doing this project is going on. So you may not have to punch a clock, but maybe, you might want to. Who knows what the case may be. But if you've got an appointment with your dentist, for example, you're not going to hold them up and, you're going to say you're going to be prudent. You're going to be conscientious and responsible and do the right thing. So I'm not trying to say that we're not going to be practical anymore. I'm saying that we just have to get to a state where we're free. So, how do you spell freedom? Free. When the price can't get any lower for a commodity, it's free. And that's what we need. We need a state of freedom. And this is what sound currents would bring. A lot of people just think that's so foreign to their thinking that they can hardly wrap their minds around it. I really wish you would. So one of the things I'd like to leave you with today, because I got to end this video, is just contemplate that. Step back and say, is it possible that I can really imagine a world being free from this that's working, where people are really happy and content, and everybody is prosperous and secure, liberated, and content, and that we really did continue to serve each other, and I firmly believe we will. So I just want you to ask yourself those things, and have a great day and a great weekend, and we'll talk to you again sometime, I hope. California is going from gold to green.